First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista, hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everybody. And I got to say, we're back.
Yes.
Right.
We were off last week, but
We were.
scheduling conflicts.
We're busy people. Well, I'm not saying that in a mean way, but yeah, we are so busy this time of year with so many things coming up, and let's not forget budget time and everything else, and that we're addressing to keep everything afloat. And so, but it's nice to be back. It is. And it was nice to have a Friday morning off. But I get it. And people ask me, how can you work on the radio? I get it. So we're back, though, and that's most important. But sadly, we're not going to be on next Friday.
That's true.
Next Friday, we're going to be off again. And Grady just told me because he's got some personal stuff going on. So, and you run the board. We don't know how to run the board. So when you're off,
I
we're
could
off.
do it, but we would be like broadcasting live in New York.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We'd be somewhere, but not. We'd be off here, I'm sure. Yeah.
There's a little test. What does this button do? Don't push it. There you go. Well, let's start with ALA soccer.
ALA, American Leadership Academy, and let me give a shout out to our girls varsity team. They made the playoffs. This is obviously a new school, very young high school. I mean, young in the fact that very limited numbers because they're coming up through the ranks of elementary and junior high, like any new school is, especially in the high school era. But long story short is these girls did it. They were the talk of the conference, talk of the state when it comes to their association they play in. So they got finished out tied for first in their conference and then sixth overall in the state. So I want to give a shout out to our girls. Again, I told them I give it 2 or 3 years, and this team is going to be amazing. But again, so we play next Wednesday in Phoenix. We'll be heading up there to a team. Ironic, I just looked at the rankings this morning. We're playing a team that beat us bad beginning of the season. We beat them at home. So came to the game on that a few weeks ago. We beat them 3-2. We're playing them. So they're 11-1, which is good. I like it. So we're going to play them. We're 7-4, by the way. So we're going to play them next Wednesday at 5 p.m. up in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix. And I don't know the exact venue on that yet. But if we knock them off, and I'm going to be very optimistic, we can do it because we've done it once, that we come back and have a home playoff game. So it goes top 8 teams in the state top 8 teams play in the state playoffs. So if we get it, we'll get back home for the semifinals here. So we're excited. But kudos to the girls. Thanks to ALA and the leadership for supporting these girls.
And talking about great schools, the University of Arizona,
Here we go.
they did a fabulous thing. They have a scholarship that they named after you.
It was very nice of them to do that. And I have the honor, nice to Jeff Davenport and I both, we have the honor to go over there and MC for their foundation to raise funds. So after so many years, they got a hold of me and said, hey, we'd like to name a scholarship after you. So thanks to U of A. And I always kid with them, and I say this in a good way, and I just went to an event the other day with them, is the fact that being an ASU guy, I still go out there and support U of A. So I still got your back, Carol. Limited, of course, when it comes to U of A. But, of course, kudos to U of A.
Yeah, but see, they even set their sights high. Like, they have the planetarium you went to. They, are in the sky. So they're an amazing school, right?
Yeah, and I went there last Saturday at the planetarium. Look at all. It was a cool night of stargazing and moon gazing and all the things they do when they gaze over there. I'm not into all that, but there's a good trivia thing that we talked about when we brought this up this morning.
That's right. So today's, the skies are smiling on us. So if you were up pre-dawn this morning, you had, your 2 planets up there. You had the partial moon, so it looked like the Cheshire Cat, but it was a smiley face. So if you were out early enough to catch that, congratulations.
Grady, you're kind of one of those techie kind of guys.
I love that stuff. Yeah, that's all good.
I was just going to say, and when you said that this morning, Carol, I was like, what's this guy doing to us? What's going on here? But that's really cool. The next time they do that, I'll let you know. I'll have you and Wally and the family go over and do that because, yeah, it was cool. It's a really neat thing to see. And when you go look at the galaxy up there and what's going on, it's kind of scary in its own way, but it's really neat.
Well, let's give a shout out to someone who's retiring, Mr. Tal Parker.
Mr. Tal Parker, we had his luncheon this week. He spent 43 years wearing a uniform. First 20 plus was with the Marine Corps, and then the last 20 plus was with us, the sheriff's office. He was our EOD guy. He worked major crime. EOD is the bomb specialist. Learned that training when he was in the Marine Corps. Carried that over to help us for many years, and then excuse me, And then he ran my major crimes unit, and then he was working border for the last couple of years and stuff. So Tal, to his wife Mary, I wish him the best of luck. He's just been a great friend to all of us around here, and I'm sure we'll see him running around the county doing things. They're going to stay local here, and but Tal, thank you so much for your service, and we appreciate you.
His last day is actually going to be this coming week, and so from now until then, we can keep saying the word bomb because he loves when people do that.
The best success story for an EOD person is to retire and have all your fingers.
Yes.
So congratulations.
He's got a week, so let's hope for
Yeah, let's
that
knock on wood. I
success.
said that now. It'd be horrible if something happens, but no. He's well respected in the state. In fact, EPS Bomb, EOD guys came down, was part of the ceremony, and presented some stuff to him. And so, again, it just goes back to, and you can join an organization, first the military, then our community, sheriff's office, and then retire with the reputation you did. That's a success story. So kudos to you.
And congratulations to a friend of yours, Joe Thomas. He's getting married.
Joe Thomas, we all know Joe's name, the varsity football coach from Buena, is getting married tomorrow. So congratulations, Joe. And they finally wrestled him down and tamed him down. And so he's going to get married tomorrow. And we're looking forward to that. I will be there. SAT's going to come out, the sheriff's team, and help out with parking at the venue. But again, congratulations, Joe. I mean, I wish you many, many years of happiness.
And on a sad note, on the flip side of that coin, we have a couple of people who passed, and we want to recognize their families and tell them how much we appreciate the dedication and the service that both of these people gave to their communities. So Mario Morales, he's the former chief of Santa Cruz County, and John Munch, who was with U.S. Border Patrol as the patrol agent in charge for many years.
Right. Let me start with John Munch. John Munch, rest in peace, my friend. John was the patrol agent in charge of the Naco station for years back in the 90s. Back in the days, they had double-digit numbers down there. I mean, John was a good friend of mine. I worked many years with him, stayed friends with him during retirement. His wife Sharon, family, just awesome people. And John passed last week. Got notified from one of his cohorts I used to work with too, Ted. And so. Again, just a great man. I just couldn't find a nicer guy. And then the other one is Mario. Mario is the former chief deputy. Spent his whole career from Nogales PD, sheriff's office, worked up to chief deputy over in Santa Cruz County. Good friend of Arizona sheriffs. He had a stroke here a couple weeks ago. Fought through it. He brought him off life support. Lived about 4 or 5 days and then passed away. So Mario, just a legacy in Santa Cruz County. So I just want to say thank you and for just the friendship we've had, and then last but not least is my prayers to his family, Denise, his wife, and all of them. They just great family. We lost a good one with both John and Mario.
And this week was Administrative Professionals Day.
Yeah, back to a high note. And let me just say it to all our administrative specialists, the glue behind the operation, whether it's the Cochise County Sheriff's Department or any organization or here at Town Square Media, at the end of the day, it's those administrative specialists that are holding it together, that are making sure it's glued and make sure it's working and make sure it's well oiled to do what we do. Our success comes through them. So again, we give them a shout out this week. I just want to say on a radio station now, thank you for what you do for the Sheriff's Office.
And we're going to be busy tomorrow. So there's a Rise Festival in Sierra Vista at the Veterans Memorial Park, and you're going to be speaking at that.
Yeah, it's in fact, I'm going to speak right after this. So people my era will remember the music Korn. Remember the band Korn? So they're playing tomorrow, which a lot of people haven't seen that. So I'm speaking right after Korn, and I'm going to get out there. I don't know what I'm going to say. I mean, 'cause what do you say at a concert? You know, I mean, kind of a cop on. So they asked me to come speak, so I'm going to speak right after Korn. But it's just neat. Jai's putting that together. It's kind of a Christian theme, bringing it in. So it's a clean concert, family. It's free to get in, free admission for anybody. But I know they're trying to, 5,000 people they're trying to get into the park there. But so again, I'm going to run down there and say a few inspirational words. I don't know what that's going to be. I'll put those thoughts together later. But long story short is thank you, Jai, for, again, it brings community together here in the spring when the weather's just getting great right now. So, but that's tomorrow. I think it starts what time? 5 o'clock or something, I believe. No, it's got to start before then.
Right. So the people are going to be starting to file into the park about 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So then they have to get their seats and get scheduled and sat and whatnot. So just start filing in there about 4 o'clock and make sure that you get a good place to sit.
Yeah, so Korn, yeah, you're right. So the lead guitarist, Brian Welch from Korn, is going to be singing tomorrow. And so I'll be right after him. So I'll be right after Brian. See how personal I made that?
That's pretty good, pretty good.
So it'll be fun, though. If you got nothing to do, you want to come out and just sit in the lawn chair and kind of chill tomorrow at the Veterans Park. And I'm not sure exactly when it kicks off, but I think it's going to be mid-afternoon or early afternoon.
And so Wilcox, we also, last time we were here, we had someone from Curious Quails from the University of Arizona, and they have an event tomorrow in Wilcox for the family from 9 to 10:30 at Keeler Park. And so you take your kids, and then they talk about all kinds of interesting nature, animals and flora and fauna and everything out there. So if you're going to head out to Wilcox at any time, or if you're in Wilcox, make sure that you take a look at that. It's a free event. It's an hour and a half. Take your kids, and they learn a lot of stuff. It's very educational and fun, and just get immersed in that because it's something that this group does regularly.
This is a community that does so much. I mean, you look at Cochise College yesterday. They had the Aviation Open Day. Did you see that over there? And I still say that's the biggest hidden gem in Cochise County, especially when it comes to young people, besides wanting to work for the Cochise County Sheriff's Office. But you look at, that's a joke, everybody, but you look at Cochise College, so an aviation program, and again, I don't want to be the spokesman of it, but 18 months, you go there, we have one of the few flight simulators in the country, and then after 18 months, you're flying commercial somewhere in the country. That's pretty impressive. And then they hire you back for your some kind of training that you have to go back and then start doing some teaching back what you've learned, and they pay you for that. I just think if you're a young person looking to aspire into a professional career, it's a pretty cool thing. So go check them out. I think it's pretty neat.
And you also had a CTE meeting.
CTE is our high school program for career technical education. We focus on the law enforcement side. In fact, I was just dealing with Buena yesterday to get their certificates for their graduates that are graduating here in a couple weeks. But CTE is a program that we 100% support, 100% wrap ourselves around, because that's our hometown talent that we're trying to recognize. These kids that the teachers at the high schools throughout Cochise County say, hey, that's a great one coming up. That'd be a great one to work here. That'd be a good dispatch kid, whatever it may be. And then we focus on them because we're working side by side with them. So I commend our high schools around the county for doing that, but also they are the feeder program for a lot of our hiring, not just the sheriff's office, but a lot of our law enforcement here.
And we also had the Sierra Vista Chamber leadership and the Sky Islands Regional Partnership.
That's good. I don't have that down.
Yeah.
It was so easy to say Service Chamber. That
Yes.
was so easy. A simple statement. I liked it, but I get the innovation behind that.
So we had the Law Enforcement Day, and so they came to visit, and hopefully they learned a lot. It's a good program where you get people through there from different aspects of electric company and gas company and businesses and law enforcement, and you sponsor people to go through it, and then they get to learn so much that is going on in our community.
Yeah, and if you're interested, contact Melanie over at the Chamber. And I went through it. You've been through it, Carol. I mean, great. Have you been through this? It's great. It's like 8-9 months, but every month you go somewhere different in the county around the service area to understand Military Day, Law Enforcement Day, Border Day, City Day, all the different things. But it's educational. But I think more important is a better understanding how our government works in Cochise County. And I'm not talking about just the Cochise County government. I'm talking about all of it and how it networks with the people. The people are the nexus behind any organization. So I still have friends today that I went through with that are still working in the government. It's pretty neat. It's a neat program.
And I understand that your stop of the week is going to also roll into your safety message of the week.
Well, it is. I was coming back from a meeting in Phoenix and coming down 90, and we all know all the construction. Whether you're on the bypass right now where you hear the beep beeps from the semis and the tractors doing all this paving work, and you got Fry Boulevard right there closed at Fry and the big junction there with Target and everything. And we had an accident there a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you know that. I don't know, somebody, and I don't want to speak for it because I didn't investigate it, but somebody in the evening drove right through the barricades and crashed. And so, I mean, there's big old barricades and big old tractors there. But long story short, I was coming back from 90, and they're going back and doing a lot of sub work along the highways where they've done all the asphalting up there by the checkpoint. And there's a BMW car in front of me. We're going good speed, no speeding, nothing. And we had one lane blocked because of all the barricades as they're doing work with inside the highway there. And all of a sudden, the BMW just drifts off, goes right through the barricade. And when it happens in front of you, you're like, did I just see that? And the car jerks back to the right, and then rips the mirror off it, knocks over the barricade, and now people are working up the street. I mean, this thing, fortunately, he did it early on, not later on. But so the car pulls into the breakdown lane. I hit the lights, pulling behind him, and I walked up. This guy coming home from work, and he told me he's coming back from Tucson from work, and I go, "Do you have an explanation for that?" I do. I go, "What is it?" I nodded off. Folks, when you're in a construction zone, you have to be, you got to be vigilant. You got to be like paying attention. And the construction worker guy pulled up, and we sat and talked, documented the I just did the accident, and then here comes another guy. He pulls through the barricades and drives down the barricade side where they were paving. And they were furious. Almost the construction people were so upset, and I pulled in there, hit the lights, and I asked this couple, I said, "What are you doing?" "Well, we need to get across the street." Folks, we got to show some patience here. And I know all the way from putting that pipeline there on 92 and Fry Boulevard there and the big junction, we had businesses complaining. I was told, people going through private part, people are like water. They find the easiest route. But we really got to do a better job and just be patient. At the end of the day, we've lived this bad road for how long? 2-3 years now. We're almost to the end, and I hate to see somebody get hurt bad now. So please just be patient on that. Hopefully within 3 weeks we can all look back. The project's supposed to be done by in the next month, first part of June is what I understand. If I misquoted, sorry, but it's going to be done very soon. So we're almost there, folks. Let's just gotta be patient.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all, and have a safe week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have SSVEC Eric Peterman.
And First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, and that's who we have in the studio now. Hi, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jason Bowling, CEO of SSVEC.
Good morning. This is Corey East. I'm the VP of Marketing and Communications. Thanks for having us this morning.
Well, first thing we want to start off with is thank you. You guys sponsor this show. You've done it for many years, and we appreciate being able to get, what the Sheriff's Office is doing out to the public, and that's thanks to Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Well, we appreciate the work you do in forming the community. That's a central pillar to cooperatives as well, supporting the community, so it's a great partnership for us.
And it's also not the only thing that you guys get behind. You are very community involved all over Cochise County, so we want to thank you for that as well. Tell us some of the things that you guys do in our community.
No, quite a bit. Just a couple weekends ago, we had a charity golf tournament over in Wilcox. Where we, sold raffle tickets, and we were able to raise over $4,000 just for the food bank over in Wilcox. And we have the scholarship dinner. We're coming up at the end of April, where 40 seniors across our service territory are going to be getting scholarships. As they move on to college and trade schools and whatnot. And so much. We got our key programs like our Yes Fair, our Washington Youth Tour, and our scholarships. That's one of our key roles of the cooperative, is commitment to our community, and that's what we love to do the most.
And one of the things that we want to get out to the community right now is you guys are going to have some new hours. So tell us what is changing.
That we got a lot of things going on, and yes, we are going to be going to a 410 schedule starting June 2nd. It's gonna be able to help our membership in quite a few different ways. We're going to be able to be available to our members more often by all departments being, in the office from 6:30 to 5. It's going to cut down on utility costs being closed on Fridays. It's going to cut down on fleet assets, rolling trucks more often. So there's going to be quite a bit of cost savings for the membership. And anytime we do anything at the cooperative, that's our being a not-for-profit organization, we ask, is this good for the membership? How will it benefit the membership? And we're looking forward to the opportunity to.
And that's going to be a permanent change then.
Well, we want to test this out because it is a significant change for us, and so if we're doing a 6-month trial period. Before that 6-month trial period ends, we'll make a decision as to whether or not we'll continue. But the thinking is that we've got to get through a monsoon season because there may be some effects. We want to make sure that our line crews aren't being overburdened by long days and long nights, and see how the membership responds to it as well. I got to tell you that when this was first proposed by the employees a few years ago, we started researching it, seeing what member traffic patterns might be, and see if we could structure things in such a way that we can even better serve our members. And when we find that there may be a really strong potential cost savings, that we figured there's no way we can't leave that stone unturned and investigate it further. So this is a 6-month trial period to see if the costs actually do bear out in a savings for us, see if we have no negative effects to member service, and if that's all the case, then we'll just keep on rolling.
And you guys have online tools, but there's going to still be in-person service, correct?
Absolutely. No, all of our departments are going to be staffed more hours during the work week. So it'll allow members, to come in before work, after work, during their breaks when they're running errands. And of course, we have our online virtual tools such as Smart Hub, where members are they're utilizing those website tools more often, and we want to make sure that we're following the ways that our membership are interacting with us.
Well, let's talk about outages and emergencies since you brought that up.
Well, yeah, we have our outage management system that keeps members informed when there is an outage, and of course our crews are monitoring that 24/7, so if there is an outage, they're out there responding. Regardless of what our open office hours are, we're going to make sure that we've got people available to keep things safe and reliable.
And I got notes here that hours are different for Patagonia and Elfrida. Let's talk about that.
They are. There are a couple of our satellite offices over in Elfrida and Patagonia. So we have some MSRs that are there for the membership over in that area, and they're usually in the office somewhere around between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m. But they will still be available to the membership, and Monday through Thursday as well.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up by kind of give us a nugget again of what is changing.
Right. Biggest thing changing as of June 1st, our office hours are changing from 6:30 to 5 Monday through Thursday.
All right, let's talk about the annual meeting. That's coming up pretty soon, and that is actually really fun. Tell us what that is.
No, our annual meeting is a very fun event. It's it's the one time of the year where we get to invite all of the membership to come and get cooperative updates from the previous year. And this year it's being held in Sierra Vista at Buena High School at the Klein Center at May 29th. We're going to start the day off, at 5:30 with a safety demo, and so we'll have our operations crews there. And our safety trailer there to give the members who show up an overview on line safety and how to keep themselves safe in case they come across any dangerous situation. Registration will start at 6. Every member that comes and will get a $25 bill credit, and the meeting will start right at 7, and we'll be able to listen to our board president and Jason, our CEO, as they give us cooperative updates on the last year and maybe something that's come new and upcoming this year. And we'll also have some cool raffle prizes and more bill credits at the end.
Yeah, and that's the raffle prizes and bill credits. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, as Corey said, every member who shows up gets at least a $25 bill credit, and we've got a lot of other things that are lined up to give away too. So it should be a good time.
And what is the date and time for that again?
It is May 29th at the Buena High School, and it'll be in the Klein Center. And registration starts at 6. The meeting itself starts at 7.
And that's PM, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, again, thank you for coming in and catching us up on what's going on with SSVEC. And again, thank you for sponsoring this show. The Sheriff's Department really enjoys doing this and getting it out to the community. Thanks to you.
Thanks, Grady. Appreciate you.
You bet. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Christy Hirschberg, the president of the Huachuca City Lions Club. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, and good morning.
So tell us a little bit about, and I know people will not understand this until we say it. The Huachuca City Lions Club is the yellow building on Huachuca Boulevard, which is, the main thoroughfare going through Huachuca City. It's going to be on the right-hand side if you're going north, and obviously the left-hand side if you're coming south. But you can't miss that building. It's been there for a long time.
It has been since 1963, and yes, we painted it yellow a couple years ago, and the color has not faded much, so
no,
it's bright yellow.
It's a good eye-opener. It's a good eye-opener. So the Huachuca City Lions Club, they do a lot of stuff for the community, and you have something that's coming up in a clothing exchange. So tell us a little bit about what that is.
So tomorrow from 1 to 3, we have a clothing exchange. We have clothes that have been donated that we're going to give out to the citizens that need clothes. And what they can do is come between 1 and 3, and if they have clothes they would like to donate, they can do that. If they have nothing to donate and they need clothes, they're still welcome to come and shop. We have men's, we have women's, we have some shoes. So
How often do you do that?
this is the first time we're actually trying this. So
Well, hopefully it works out. So
Yes.
again, if do you have kids' clothes?
we don't have kids' clothes at this time, but if this works out, then we'll branch out and
Okay,
do
good.
more.
Well, it's a good way for people, you always hear of people saying, gosh, I need a yard sale because I've got so many clothes, or I need to donate to one of the local stores because I just have too many. So it's a good way, you get 5 pieces of clothing out and you get to bring 10 in. That's
Right.
how it works.
That's-
So, so because you have all of that and this is your inaugural event, we just want to make sure that people understand if you need clothing, please take some time
Yes.
and take the drive to Huachuca City and see if you can
Right.
stop in from 1 to 3, right?
Right, from 1 to 3.
And then you also have something that you're working on in a purse drive.
Right. Well, yes. So we have a purse auction coming up, and that'll be on the 10th of May. And what we have is some brand new purses. We have some gently used purses, and we're going to auction them off. And we're going to do a high tea along with that, and a hat contest. So.
And
it'll
that's all
be
going to be
fun.
in your building.
No, this will be at Buddy's Bar in Whetstone,
Okay.
and that's on the 10th, and that starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon as well.
All right. And so where do the proceeds from this go?
So the proceeds go to our community. So what we do is we do eyeglasses and eye exams for the needy people in Huachuca City and the Whetstone area. So that's what we fundraise for. And we do a monthly breakfast and a monthly bingo, and we raise money that way. And then we do a lot of things with the Huachuca City community, like donating to the school programs and, things around the community.
And you have a meeting on June 24th, and the sheriff is going to be a guest speaker for that.
Correct. Yes, we're excited. Sheriff Daniels has agreed to come at 5:30, the Huachuca City Lions Club, and be our guest speaker. So there'll be free food. We're planning a barbecue, so just come on out and you can talk to the sheriff and listen to what he has to say, and we're very excited about that.
And so during your meetings, after the guest speaker, then you have obviously food, so people go and take a look. Are you soliciting new members?
We do. We have like 3-4 times a year we'll have an open house, and we've renamed them mixers, and we're getting some really good feedback and turnout from that.
So what else can you tell us about the Lions Club that everybody needs to hear?
Well, this morning we are planting trees. We purchased a tree, and we're going to put it in Huachuca City behind the library. And so, but we do all kinds of things for the kids and for the citizens of Huachuca City.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today and catching us up on everything about the Lions Club, and thank you for everything you do in our community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Campus and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Corporal Scott Borgstadt from the Sierra Vista Police Department.
Good morning. Good, happy Friday morning.
You sound like you've had tons of caffeine.
No, 2 cups. That's all I get a day. But,
I'm glad you're
been
cheerful.
Up early, cheerful, yeah. Well, we got a new puppy last Saturday at the animal control event there, and got suckered into another one. So, and she's about 11 months old and full of energy, so, it's contagious.
Good
it's
for
contagious,
you. Good
so,
for you.
know.
So what have you guys got going tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow we've got a VIN etch going on, vehicle identification. That's where we etch your VIN into the windows on your vehicle. It's a great way to help protect your vehicle from being stolen. A lot of folks don't know this, but windows are one of the most profitable items for chop shops, basically. And if your VIN is etched into them, it basically becomes useless to the chop shops. They can't resell them. So it's a good way to come out. Protect your vehicle. It's a free event. Donations are accepted, but for the most part, it's a free event. We're going to be at the mall at Sierra Vista on the east side of the mall, kind of in that area where the Wells Fargo is and stuff, but on the mall property. Look for the great big Sierra Vista Police Department command vehicle, and come on over, and it takes maybe 10, 15 minutes to get the job done, and we've got a really good crew. We work in conjunction with the Citizens Police Academy Associates, they go through, they clean the area of the windows that needs to be etched, and we etch them, and while you're filling out some paperwork, and can get you in and out pretty quick.
I love that this is a free event, and donations are accepted, but the fact that you can get this kind of protection, just the Sierra Vista Police Department stepping up, I love it.
Well, yeah, and it's just a great way to help protect the community a little bit, and it's a lot easier doing something like this than taking a stolen vehicle report.
That's true.
You can barely see it, where we etch it, but this is something that criminals look for, and if it's on there, they just don't want anything to do with it because they can't sell them.
All right, well, this is tomorrow, so give us the location and times again.
Great, yeah, it's going to be at the mall at Sierra Vista on the east side. It's going to be from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. We'll be ready for you.
All right, well, thank you, Officer Borstadt, for coming and catching us up on VinEtch tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And, Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
Reach out to our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff, and you'll be able to find all kinds of interesting information. Go ahead and check out our social media at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. That'll take you to our Facebook. We also have links to our Instagram and our X accounts. Give us a call, 520-432-9500, if you have any questions or concerns, and we're here for you.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook. And tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.